Hi, my name is Erin Wilt. This is case formulation number 4 for 731. So this is the case of Jaden. She's the 13-year-old that's coming in with her mom. Mom and Jaden both confirm that she has impulsivity at school, not raising her hand, calling out, which is getting her removed from the classroom. She also had a physical altercation with a child where Jaden reports that she was being picked at and she just snapped. That resulted in a suspension for striking the other child. She is not following instruction at home. She has conflict with the stepdad. He is frequently at her for not following the rules. Jaden does indicate that the rules seem to be changing every day, and despite what she does or her efforts, nothing is ever good enough. She has Concerta, which mom would like switched to Abilify. Jaden reports she does not take this routinely. She forgets, or she just doesn't take it because it makes her feel weird. Like her brain is going 100 miles an hour, and her mom just doesn't understand what that feels like, and then to be expected to sit still. So assessments that I had requested to be completed, I did want the Vanderbilt ADHD rating scale completed by guardians and teachers. We're looking at impulsivity, inattention, and hyperactivity. Also, the disruptive behavior disorders rating scale. This one looking at aggression, defiant behaviors, and destructive behaviors, as well as impulsivity and inattention and hyperactivity. Thirdly, I recommended the Ask Suicide Screening questions. She did not display any gross depressive features. However, due to her age, her impulsivity, and thinking that everyone is out to get her, always on her case, and the recent instance of the physical altercation with a child at school, I did think that addressing suicidality was appropriate. For psychotherapy treatment, I was looking at CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. Firstly, we would look at addressing Jaden's cognitive distortions. She does display some. She has global labeling, stating that, in regards to her stepdad, no matter what I do, everything is wrong. And then she also has some overgeneralization, indicating that everyone is on my case all of the time. So we would look at reframing that. A simple technique for that would be looking at who is not on my case at that point in time. Like, who is my support? Who is not picking at me? Who did I sit with at lunch and we had a great time? So just reframing that to, instead of everyone is, who isn't? We would also look at contingency management due to her impulsivity, especially in class. Small techniques that we could use would be putting a card maybe on her desk that just says, is your hand raised? Or, stop, raise hand. Just a visual cue that would help her to slow down in that moment and then go ahead and raise her hand if she'd like to participate. It is encouraging because she is participating. Even though she's calling out and she's not doing it the appropriate way, she is still engaged. So we want to capitalize on that, and we want to provide positive reinforcement when she does participate the way that she's supposed to by raising her hand. And that would hopefully encourage her to continue further and display that behavior of, raising her hand when she's supposed to. For homework, I would recommend an automatic thought record, an ATR. This may be helpful in 2 ways. The first I thought would be prompting her to use the ATR would halt a reaction, right? So in that moment, instead of responding, she's going to get that out and she's going to go ahead and she's going to jot it down. So she's going to be looking at, journaling her situation, the attached emotion, and then the thoughts or her initial reaction. So that's going to slow her down. And then also that will give us the information that we need when we're looking at creating or developing a further treatment plan for her, building on what we already have. So we know what she's thinking and how she's wanting to respond. That'll help guide treatment. Other ways that we can look at this, I know that have been helpful in my family's life, are some simple modalities just to help with organization for completing homework. Like, that has been difficult for her. We can look at color coding. Like, everything in science is red, your notebook, your folder. Everything for math is maybe green. Just to help give her the techniques so that she feels organized, she's not losing things, and she feels prepared to participate. That may be helpful. Or even like a smooth stone in her pocket when she feels like she wants to react when somebody says something to her. She can rub that stone to help ground her. So they may be appropriate techniques as well that are, relatively easy and mobile that she can take along with her to help in her practice or in practicing her skills. We would see her weekly and then likely bi-weekly, then monthly. My name is Erin Wilt. This is case formulation number 4 for 731. This is Jaden. She's the 13-year-old that's coming in with mom, has a diagnosis of ADHD, taking Concerta. Mom wants that switched to Abilify. Both Jaden and mom do confirm that she has impulsivity in school. She's calling out, being removed from the classroom. She had a physical altercation where she was suspended. That was caused by a student that was picking at her, and then Jaden reports she just, quote, snapped. Also having some issues with the family dynamic. Stepdad and Jaden do not get along very well. He's reprimanding her frequently for not following the rules. Jaden feels that the rules are changing every day, and despite her best efforts, nothing is ever good enough. She does report that she has left the house knowing that she should not, but that was to kind of walk away from the situation at home where she's not getting along with the stepdad. So initially for Jaden, I was looking at ADHD, which we have that diagnosis, and then I was also looking at oppositional defiant disorder. So I went ahead and I wanted the assessments of the Vanderbilt ADHD rating scale completed, looking at impulsivity, inattention, and hyperactivity. And then I also wanted the disruptive behavior disorders rating scale completed as well. This one's going to be looking at aggression, defiant behaviors, and also destructive behaviors, in addition to the inattention, hyperactivity, and impulsivity. Both assessments would be completed by the guardian as well as the teacher or teachers in Jaden's case. Additionally, I did want the Ask Suicide Screening question completed. She does not have any gross depressive features. But she is, an adolescent. She also has impulsivity, and she's had some issues where she feels that everyone, is on her case, whether that be authority or her peers, which prompted the physical altercation. So I felt that to be appropriate. For Jaden, I would look at cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. I would recommend addressing the cognitive distortions, which she does have a couple. She expresses global labeling with the instance of the stepdad saying, no matter what I do, everything is wrong. And then overgeneralization, where she does say, everyone is on my case all of the time. We would look at reframing that to something positive. So instead of everyone is on my case all the time, who isn't on your case? Who are you talking to today at lunch and had a good time, or who's supporting you, or who's laughing with you, or who's walking with you to class, and that's a positive situation. Also, we would look at contingency management to address the impulsivity, especially during class when she's calling out. We want to look at ways that we can continue to encourage her to participate, because she is participating, even though she's impulsive in her responses, and that's not socially acceptable in a classroom setting. She is participating, and we don't want to discourage that. So we would look at something as simple as putting a little sign on her desk, an index card that says, stop, raise your hand, or is your hand raised? And that could give her that visual cue so that she sees it and she's like, oh, I need to slow down and I need to raise my hand here. Again, in that moment, that's encouraging her to participate. And then we would go ahead and we would offer positive reinforcement for completing the behavior. Would also recommend an ATR, an automatic thought record for Jaden. This is going to be helpful in two ways. The first way, it's going to prompt her to use that ATR in situations where she may be keen or prompt to react. So hopefully that would slow her down in having her document, what the situation is, how she's reacting, how she's feeling about it. And then, secondly, is by bringing that documentation in, she's been journaling the situations, her attached emotion to them, and then the thoughts or her initial reaction, so that we can kind of build on and guide her treatment so that we know what major triggers are so that we can address those for her appropriately. Also simple things that have worked in my own life for my children, organizational skills to help with school, like everything for math is green. Your book, the cover you put on your book, your folder, your notebook. For science is red. Again, everything is, your book, your notebook, your folder, things like that will help with organizational skills. And it'll just help her to feel more in control. You can put a worry rock in her pocket, which is something mobile. She can take to class with her. She can take to lunch, to gym, whatever. And she'll have that to just kind of rub that stone when she's feeling like she's not quite grounded or she's quick to react. She can just kind of grab a hold of that and kind of center herself with that. I was reluctant to associate a diagnosis of ODD. I think that addressing her therapy situation and then looking at medication management and her adherence, we may have some better results. I don't know that she's oppositional defiant at this point. I think she may just be poorly managed ADHD.